You've been there, overlooked, doubted, maybe even laughed at. But while they rolled their eyes, you sharpened your claws. You weren't just sitting quietly. You were learning, absorbing, and evolving in ways they couldn't see. Here's the fun part. By the time they realize what's happened, you'll be miles ahead, casually sipping success while they scramble to figure out when exactly you became dangerous. Let them underestimate you. It's the best cover you'll ever have. At number 1, the weapon of obscurity. Being underestimated is one of the greatest strategic advantages you can have. When people don't see you as a threat, they reveal everything: how they think, what they value, and most importantly, where they're vulnerable. It's almost funny how easy it is to learn from them when they assume you're not paying attention. They talk freely, overshare their so-called secrets, and never hold back because in their mind you're not in the same league. But that's the beauty of being overlooked. There's a certain power in being invisible. Think about it. When no one expects you to win, you're free to experiment, fail, and try again without the weight of expectations. You're not bound by their rules because no one's watching closely enough to judge. This is the hidden advantage that the loud, attention-seeking types will never understand. They live for applause. You're busy building skills they didn't even think you were interested in. There's an old story about a quiet employee in a company, someone who rarely spoke up during meetings but stayed late, learning everything about the systems while the flashy performers left early. A year later, during a major restructuring, guess who ended up leading the team? Not the loud ones. The one they forgot to pay attention to had quietly outgrown everyone. The mistake they make is simple. They equate silence with weakness, forgetting that the most dangerous players are the ones who don't show all their cards. By the time they realize you were studying their every move, it's too late. You're already 5 steps ahead. Let them underestimate you. It's not just an advantage, it's practically a cheat code. Number 2, strategic absence. Sometimes the smartest move is to stay out of the spotlight entirely. When people don't see you, they can't measure your growth or stop it. There's something almost hilarious about how quickly people forget those who aren't constantly waving for attention. They assume you're stagnant just because you're quiet. Meanwhile, you're busy working in the background, stacking skills like it's a secret competition they didn't know existed. There's a reason the most dangerous players are often the least visible. The more you stay off their radar, the more freedom you have to learn, adjust, and quietly level up. They're too busy competing with each other for scraps of recognition to notice you've been playing an entirely different game. Let them chase after awards and titles while you disappear into the background. By the time they realize you were missing, you'll have already built something they can't catch up to. A friend once told me about a coworker who was passed over for promotions, not because he lacked skills, but because he didn't brag about them. While everyone else scrambled to impress, he focused on learning every piece of the company's operations. He became the one people turned to for answers without realizing he was becoming indispensable. One day, the company hit a crisis, and suddenly he was the only person who could fix it. Funny how quickly they remembered his name when everything else was falling apart. There's something powerful about letting people assume you're irrelevant. The less they notice, the more room you have to grow without interference. Let them write you off. By the time they think to check, you'll be standing so far ahead they'll wonder if you teleported there.